Hello and welcome to Accounting 1 Online. I will be your guide through your accounting journey this semester. I am Professor Tracy Stant. You'll notice when you're going through this course that a lot of times I will send out occasional announcements to try to remind you of the main purpose of this course, and hopefully you guys will keep this in mind as you are running through it. Remember, this is the first in a series of courses. Most likely, depending on your major and what your path is, you will also have to take Financial Accounting 2 and Managerial. So as we are running through this course, not only are we assessing whether or not you have mastered the material for Accounting 1, but if you've mastered it sufficiently to be successful in those subsequent courses. So let's go ahead and get started with the start here. I'm going to pull up the syllabus so we can talk about that. All right, so in this course, we are going to start with the fundamentals of accounting 1. We are going to be focusing on financial accounting, which is essentially external accounting. You'll notice that there is a big emphasis on the accounting cycle, which is essentially what an accountant would do from the first day of a period to the last day of a period. When you are running through this course, I will tell you that the most important chapters, in my opinion, and probably my colleagues as well, is chapters 1 through 4. Those are going to be so foundational for everything that you learn for the rest of your accounting academic career. So as you are working through chapters 1 through 4, make sure that you are doing active reading. So I know that a lot of us have a tendency to, when we're reading something, to kind of do the action of reading, but not fully understand it. If you don't understand it, go back and read it again. Take notes. Ask yourself questions in those notes. If you get to the end of a chapter and you still don't quite understand something, reach out to me. I'm very accessible, I promise. So let's go ahead and make sure that as you are running through this, you aren't just using reading the textbook as kind of like a checklist. You're treating it as something that needs to be actually mastered rather than just done, if that makes any sense. All right, so in this course, we are going to be using a textbook, and it does come with an access code. Your Cengage homework is a portion of your grade, so you do need this access code. If you purchase this textbook through the bookstore, it comes with a physical copy of the textbook as well as the access code, and that access code is actually used for 18 months. You can also go through Cengage Unlimited. I've been told by the publisher that since this is a series of courses, if you buy Cengage Unlimited this semester for this course, you should be able to use it for Accounting 2 and Managerial as well. So you do have a couple of their options. We do use a standard grading scale in this course. I will tell you that personally, me as a professor, I do round. So if I saw something like a 69.5, that would be a C, 69.49, that would be a D. All right, here's the breakdown of our course. Exams 1, 3, and 4 are going to be 20% of your grade. Exam 2 is going to be 20%, and your final comprehensive exam is going to be 40%. Now, keep in mind, the reason why we do this is because it is important. This is kind of our final way of really assessing if you understand it. Obviously, for exams 1, 3, and 4, they're not proctored. We know you're going to be using your notes. We know you're going to be using your book. So it's not really assessing if you've mastered it. It's just kind of assessing, how well you can kind of thumb through your book and kind of take those exams. So what I would encourage you to do is study for exams 1, 3, and 4 as if they are proctored. When you're studying for it, pretend that you're not going to have your textbook as a resource or your notes as a resource, because that's going to actually prepare you as much as possible for once we get into the harder material, particularly this final comprehensive exam. And this is going to be cumulative for all of those chapters. So it's going to be very important that you're very comfortable with the material. And keep in mind that is 40% of your grade. So that's kind of our final way of saying, okay, this student has mastered this material. So keep that in mind. You're also going to have a series of quizzes. You'll notice that the quizzes are due the day before the exam opens. I try to get these quizzes graded within 1 to 2 days of them closing. Sometimes it gets a little lengthy just because I get a little bit behind, but I'll try to get these graded as soon as I can with it as we progress into the exam deadline or the exam dates. Then you also have your Cengage homework. I'll show you a little bit more about where you're going to access your Cengage in this course later. We'll go over the scheduled activities. Let's see. We don't do makeup exams, so please make sure that you're keeping those dates very, very close at hand. Make sure that you're printing out your scheduled activities and you're actually writing some of these due dates on a calendar. That way you don't get behind, because we do not do makeups in the accounting department. If there is anything that you need to communicate to me as far as due dates, please make sure that you try to do it in advance and let me know as soon as possible. And I think that's it. Please make sure you read through the syllabus. That's the only items I wanted to really highlight there. I'm going to get into our schedule of activities. So in the accounting department, we did our best to make all of the due dates on Mondays. That way, if we do decide to, not check our email over the weekend and take a weekend off and kind of take a breather, we at least will have that Monday when we come into the office to take a look at what you've emailed, what questions you have, and that way we'll be able to get back to you before the deadlines. Please make sure that you're printing this out and you're highlighting when each of these items are available. So like, for example, here, I'll have some students who say, okay, module 1 is due on September 6th. Notice module 2 is also due on September 6th. So you're going to want to complete modules 1 and 2 by that September 6th deadline. Then once you complete those first 2 modules, you'll have your first exam open. Same thing for modules 3 and 4. Those are all due at once, and then exam 2 will open. Modules 5, 6, and 7. I'll tell you, as a professor, you should really be focusing on modules 6 and 7 for this group. Module 5 is kind of a filler to keep them consistent with the chapter numbers, so keep that in mind as you're running through. So you'll be completing those modules and then taking exam 3. Modules 8, 9, and 10 will all be due at the same time, and then you'll be taking exam 4. And then right when you're done with exam 4, moving on to the comprehensive final. So keep in mind that your main goal is to make sure that you're achieving long-term retention of these items or these different concepts so that you can really do well in this comprehensive. And keep in mind these due dates are strict. Plan ahead, get your planner out, make sure you're doing everything in advance. I personally recommend, as you complete these different items, highlight them. That way you know that you did them. The study activities, personally, I think are going to be ongoing. I think you guys are probably going to be going back to read the chapter several times. I think you're going to be going back to, go over the practice quizzes several times. But once we get into some of the other items, I think that's when you're going to take so make sure you're going back and you're taking a look at those different practices. But the biggest thing that I see is someone says, I thought I submitted quiz 1, but I didn't. And we want to make sure that you guys aren't missing those deadlines. So as you complete your quizzes, your assessments, your Cengage, mark those off so you know that they are complete. Okay. All right, couple other things I want to go over. When you're going into each of your different items, so let's say you're starting on your module 1, you have your study activities and you have your assessments. I want to go into this assessments folder. This is where you can go ahead and sign up for Cengage. Don't go to Cengage.com or CengageBrain.com to sign up. It's going to ask you for a course key. We do not use course keys for these courses. You're going to want to sign up through here. Once you click on this Cengage homework, you'll be brought to somewhere where you can log in or create an account. If you need to, you can purchase an access code or enter an access code, and this is how you're going to sign up for your Cengage. Then you can get started with Chapter 1 homework right away. Also, we do have tutoring available. The college actually pays for Smart Thinking online tutoring. This is an external party. This wouldn't be our people. But we do also have IRC accounting tutors. These IRC accounting tutors, they are available face-to-face on the main campus in Fort Pierce and also virtually as well. So if you wanted to take a look when they were tutoring, I don't think we have any availability up now because we're planning those schedules now, but you can take a look and see when each one is covering a day. And actually, I'll go back a month so you guys can see how it's kind of laid out. So like, for example, here, if you wanted to see Daniel at main campus or online, you can click this link and you can see what time he's going to be here. If you do want to do virtual tutoring during any of those times that you see virtual tutoring on the calendar, you can click this link here. This will take you to the Blackboard Collaborate room, and then you can go ahead and get some help there. All right, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to let me know. My instructor information is all available here. My office phone, I try to be in my office, but most of the time if I'm on campus, I'm running around or working with students or in a classroom or a lab. So I would say if you're trying to get a hold of me and it's time sensitive, use my cell. I do ask that you text first. That way I can kind of make sure that I'm available if we need to have a phone call, or maybe it's something that I can answer via text. If it's not time sensitive, or if it has to do with personal information or grades, go ahead and send me an email here. And if you ever do want to come up to main campus, that's where my office is located, you can go to this link and it'll show you my office hours. Keep in mind these may change throughout the semester as different classes, Fall A, Fall B. So please make sure to open this up and take a look to see if I am available at those times. I'm also going to try to post if I have any random appointments or emergencies. I'll try to post these updates here as well. All right, and that'll be it for this video. If you have any questions, please be sure to let me know. And keep in mind, when I give you my cell phone number and I say text me, I mean text me anytime. I don't care if it's 3 a.m. on a Tuesday. I don't care if it's 10 p.m. on a Saturday. If I'm busy, I'll just get to it later. So there's absolutely nothing that you should worry about texting me, particularly if it has to do with accounting content. That is really what I want to see. So if you have a question on your homework, just let me know. I'll see if I can figure it out via text if I'm not at my computer, or maybe I'll be able to pull up the question as well. We can always have a conversation. So keep up the hard work. Do your very best. I know that these online classes are very difficult, but keep in mind Accounting 1 is going to be such an important foundation as you go through your other accounting courses. So please, please, please do us a favor and do your best to master the material. If you have any questions, please let us know. And that'll be it for today. Okay. Have a good one.